This is the old truck and car collection. So there they are, another lifetime collection of farm trucks about to be dispersed. 50s, 60s, 70s of all brands. There's even a four-door pickup. Old van. International four-wheel drive. Man, this is going to be a good one. Here the day before the auction. Not too many people previewing like I thought there'd be. Couple old Skylarks. Bunch of 80s Ford trucks and Chevy trucks. Quite the field of old patina ripening in the sun. These are the ones you can't see from the road. I'm gonna park over in the corner here and then step off and walk all these, look at every one of them. Then on the other side of the highway, there's more tractors and some international trucks. Guy out in western Kansas collected all these, and now it's time to sell. Mix of mostly trucks, some cars. Over on the other side there's some tractors. Catch after here. Should be 55.6 GMC, low cab forward. V8 in that one, should be a Pontiac. Cool old patina on it. '47 to '53 Chevy. Vent windows and push button door handles is best way to tell the year on that one. There's the opposite, the turn down door handles and the single pane of glass. Got it marked as a 48. 1960 C60. GMC. Another one of these. I think that's like the 5500. Big old Dodge 800. Built those through the 60s. '68 970 Ford. That's a pretty cool one. Old tire service truck. 49 F6 Ford. Gasoline body. Chevrolet with the 4-color patina. Another Chevrolet. I think that's the only 5-window so far, that black one. Now here's kind of a rare piece. 76 Nova. So this should be the 9C1. I don't want to bend those hood hinges. I gotta see if I can get in on the sticker here. 350, 400. LX designation on there. This got the little pie pan hubcaps. Did have twin spotlights. This is a really super solid rust-free old Nova. No antenna holes or anything for lights. I guess that guy there could be. Trunk lid had the mice in it. Now we'll see if any of these doors will open. Take a look inside of her. Alright. Crank windows, vinyl seats. These reflections are awful in here. Oh, there went the mouse right there. So this has got the 120 mile an hour speedo. It's got the clock delete, fuel gauge, rear defogger, which on these should be that blower motor style deal. There's the holes where they had the cage. Yeah, this is a 9C1 because that little bitty back seat cushion. What a cool car. This is AC car. Plain black door panels. I don't know if it's possible to tell from the VIN. 1X69L 6L, built in January '76. City of Utica Marshall. So that's been in at least 22 different services. It's kind of puzzling they didn't have certified written on the speedo, but all other signs. The back seat's really the main thing. That's a 9C1. Cool car. IH Lodestar diesel. Don't know if I ever seen one of them diesel before. Big truck with the Daytons. Old Chevy. Pretty decent truck. Marked at 56. Half ton. V6 GMC 60456. '70s C20. That's 62 C10. Super good old truck. Bed floors rotted like they all were. Oh, really pretty decent truck, honestly. It's too bad the A pillars are open at the bottom, and so the mice crawl up and they nest in there, and the whole top of that cab is just gone. That one's actually a V8 truck, 283, 4-speed manual. There's a diesel Dodge. Dump truck. These emblems bring really good money because people converting an old truck with a Cummins, they like to put them on there. 68 to 72 C60. I always thought these Internationals had kind of a cute look to them. That one's a diesel even. Obvious competitor to the Ford C-Series. We had a 8-lug 2-wheel drive GMC. Another old 74 Chevy. This truck's marked a 51, which I believe is correct. 51 was the only year for vent windows and pull down door handles. C60. That's a pretty good looking truck. Another old Dodge. That's a pretty cool truck too. Hope a lot of these get saved. I don't know, price of scrap was up. It's springtime, all these people been bored for the winter and they're thirsty to get hauling. This C10, super solid truck. It's just kind of beat up. People ask me why I don't open hoods. That's why. Can't get them back down, and we get 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds out here and it just destroys them. No reason to open one unless you're the guy wanting to buy the vehicle. Really attractive colors on that GMC, baby blue and medium blue. 82 F-150. These old Buicks. I think that one with the little half moon tail lights is 61. And then this one with the ones that wrap like that should be a 62. Two-door post, neat car. Lincoln Versailles, a decent parts car. Disc brake rear end, should be a 351 Windsor if I'm not mistaken. 78 Impala. I have that exact car, except mine's a white vinyl roof, cream. Mine's a beautiful Survivor time capsule car. Now this 71 Caprice, this is probably the one car here that I could really do anything with. Pretty good one, but not good enough. So realistically, a parts car. The Buick Skylark. Obviously the Nova body. Should be a 69 Delta 88. '70 456 Camaro parts. '70 456 Cougar. This Monte Carlo, decent car, pretty much base model. Aluminum bumper Pinto, I think 78 to 80. Roll over. See, the sun out here just bakes the paint right off, and it's so dry. It's bare steel on that truck. Old Internationals. This Dodge is cool. This actually got 19.5s on it. Some kind of fleet truck, Roadrunner, whatever that was. C10, Old International, KB, Ford Tanker, 68 to 72 C60. That's actually got the big back window. That's pretty odd to find on one of them. Big boy Dodge, medium duty, GMC. They're pretty decent C60. Joe just bought one of these. Don't know how long it'll find a buyer. The GMC. Pretty good juxtaposition of that truck and the International behind it there. Old Power Wagon. Another one of these C60 low cab forwards. 57 Dodge. Pretty unique truck. 6456 C60. White compact. Box on wheels. Chevy. Lots of these big C60s. Chevy with the feeder box. International Lodestar. Ford 64.5 maybe. On a semi-trailer. GMC. Another white. It's a neat truck. Couple 55 to 9 Chevys. Those have got some potential. 56 F100. Somebody's going to want to rebuild that. 89 Ford. 73 to 7 Ford. Another 89 Ford. It's a F350 single wheel. 1 ton. GMC. K5 Blazer. I did sell both of mine that I found down in Oklahoma. Pontiac Montana van. Got the old Partridge family. Now it's the Pack Rat family. These later models. Had somebody ask about a front header for one of these New Yorkers. They hit a deer, and disappointingly this one is not going to supply that part. Ford Aerostar's kind of cool. 51.2 Ford. International. 50 GMC. It's got that kind of rare hood ornament. GMC and a Ford. Chevy's neat. It's actually a pretty solid truck too. Not sure what year that Ranger is. Should be 80 or 81 with the hood letters. '48 F5. They're pretty neat Dodge. International. C10s. 61's actually a short box. Has good collector interest. 71.2 yellow ochre. 60s International. F100. 73. International. Should be a 59 F100. Two-tone truck. 58 960 International and Ford cab. 67 Chevy. Small back window, no marker lights. International. Ford medium duty. Old 52.3 Chevy. I like this Ford. Don't think I've ever seen one. Don't want to abuse the R word, but I think that is kind of a rare truck. '49 or '50. 5-window. 50 Studebaker. GMC International. 40 Chevy. Another C10. A lot of this stuff's had a rough life, probably. Parts are salvage. You hope most of them get saved. That's not always reality. Pretty sad Ford. Joe's gonna be hurt when he sees this thing. He's got the identical one that he's fixing up. One of the worst derby cars he can build because the back end's just a marshmallow. 3/4 ton Chevy 5-window. International. GMC. There's a four-wheel drive International. '83 Ford. Dodge Power Wagon. Four-wheel drive truck. 3/4 ton, kind of a desirable piece. 1-ton Chevy that looks like it caught fire. This Ford's pretty neat. So out here in the rural country, when they had kids spaced out a lot further apart, they wouldn't run full big school buses. They'd just run vans and Suburbans around. So that's why it's painted school bus yellow, and it's got the little rub rails on the doors. '81 Ford. I like this International. Neat old crew cab. 3/4 ton. Big Ford. Should be an N series. I think that's right. That was pretty cool because it's diesel. International KB. '54 Chevrolet. '80s Ford. Ford van. '41-6 Chevy. '80s Chevy. It's kind of a cool old truck. Quintessential '60s hauler. '60s Dodge. That waffle pattern in that grill is kind of unique. Just a year or two they used it, but I'm not sure which. Pink GMC. That's a rare color. Not too many of them built in that shade. Dodge in the '60s. International. The Suburban's pretty cool. It's a shame it got parted out. 4-wheel drive. You can tell that was a pretty nice vehicle for a long time. Those things are starting to get real good collector value. That would have been a pretty valuable truck left together, 4-wheel drive like that. Short bed Ford, that's the odd bed. The factory. '58-9 Chevy Viking. Low cab forward, big back window, V8 truck. Joe just got one of those too. Identical color and everything, except I think his is small back window. His was a runner too. Little 283 in that. GMC. Another big green C60 and a F250. Oh, this is the old truck and car collection. It'll be auctioned. Here's a few more. This is on the other property across from the highway. Old 66 Ford, I think should be. The pack rats have been pretty busy. I think there'll be a lot of homeless pack rats after this sale. Build International, kind of worked to death. That's a good thing and the bad thing about these trucks. There's nothing repro'd for them, so the used parts are worth a lot. Not like a lot, because not everybody's beating down the doors to have an IHC, but tough to find a good one anyway. 3/4 ton, 4-wheel drive, kind of a handy rig. Bunch of combines and equipments just all scattered out. Pretty neat old service bed. That's in really good shape. Not all rotted. Here's the weird Whatzit Corner. Obviously, some sort of spray rig. You got the tank. The cool part of this is that it's front wheel drive. The weirdest front wheel drive arrangement. Oklahoma Board of Ag. The little 4-cylinder V motor that drives the belt and the little transmixer. This is like a chain drive cover you saw when I went walking up to it. It is a Whatzit Corner as far as who built it and what exactly they were spraying. Cool piece of history. There's kind of a neat car hauling rig. You get 3 of them on there, 4 of them on there. Guess it depends if they're Cadillacs or Corvairs. Whole row of tractors, we'll hit them in a minute. After the little row of trucks. This is kind of a unique hauling deal. Just park it over your equipment that didn't have rubber tires and crank it up and pull it to the next field on the highway. Vintage manure spreaders, relics of old agricultural times. There's a old fuel body. Joe's kind of got a love for them. I don't know if we drive all the way to western Kansas to take up a vehicle spot on the trailer just for that. But I suppose he could always cut the tank off and put it up on the truck if he wanted. That's his call. 94 Suburban. This is actually a really clean truck. New tires on it. Assume running and driving, but hard to guess. 217,000. Captain's chairs and console in really good shape. Door panels are good. Does have a window knocked out on the passenger quarter. Be probably a couple $100 to have one of them put in. So at this point, truck really could go either way. Be a drivetrain donor or back on the road. I think the used car market's kind of slowly coming back, so there's not necessarily the real reasoning to fix every last one. We can start parting them out again. 80 GMC. Wide load Lodestar. International dealer and liberal. Kind of a cool truck. Got the auxiliary AC hat on the cab. Early Ranger. About the first or second year they built them. I sold one of them to a kid in town once, and somehow that clutch fork broke and cut the bell housing in half, and that was the end of that truck. Some of those kids really take care of stuff, and then some of them kind of have a special talent for destroying everything in 6 months or a year. Little C30. There's an 80 Ford. F-150. Four-wheel drive. Neat truck except for the color. Brown's not for everybody. Although, I don't think it was brown. I think it was dark blue. See the paint totally sunburned off that truck. GMC four-wheel drive truck. Not a whole lot of use to me. I need a matching two-wheel drive trans to go with it. These dashes crack apart. Those are like $700 on eBay. At least they have been, so. These trucks are coming around in popularity, so if it's a good one, not sunbaked to death and totally beat up and wore out, they're starting to become decent parts rigs. They're GMC. And then this guy, 62 C60, had the earlier style grill, but that's a 62 Cal badge. At least on those low cab forwards. This on 63 with the emblem down on the fender. The 63 regular C60, not the low cab forward, used the 62 grill. So it's kind of a confusing, but that's the way they did it. And there's two of them sitting right next to each other for comparison. Ness County Highway Department. Not sure what they use that for, maybe putting bridge spans or something. International fuel tanker truck. Another one of these international 3/4 ton four-wheel drive trucks. This truck's really pretty good. Missing the tailgate, unfortunately. Bad thing about these, you just get the mice out here and they've totally destroyed that whole cab skin. I mean, anything's patchable, but it's a real bummer when the rest of the truck's that nice. Pretty neat. Half-ton four-wheel drive. Pretty attractive truck with the two-tone blue. There's the first case 930 propane tractor with the cab. AC. That Comfort King. I just drove through Pampa, Texas. Farmall F12 maybe? When I was in college, I worked on restoring one of these. And I remade these little clutch grease fitting. That original was like that soggy cracker type old white metal, pot metal, whatever you call it. And some of, like, if you ever seen the crank window handles on a 20s car, they just totally come apart with age, and ours had, and so I remade a bunch of those on the lathe back in my younger days. Little Oliver. Moline G705 on propane. Another case. 1030 possibly. Moline Wheatland 1000. Cab. Case. Got the extra propane tank on that one. Another there. The old McCormick Deering. Just kind of yard art now. Another YouTuber around Wichita there, Watch JR Go, did a Will It Run on these, and that was a really fun video to watch. It looked just like this when they started. That was a pretty fun one to watch. Here's the Joy compressor. Cat radiator. There's a Leroy Airmaster, made in Milwaukee. Moline on propane. And this guy, Case Diesel 500. Power steering. Now I don't know rarity of tractors, but I have a guess that one could be, at the least, obscure and uncommon. McCormick Deering W9. Apologize, it's terrible angle for the sun either direction. Just the way this row's laid out and the time of day we're out here. Partial Oliver with a wide front. Another diesel Moline 1000. The early Oliver. Looks like that one's been converted to propane. That'll be a lot of work. And this Moline, hard to tell if that's a shop built wide front they got on there, or it could be period aftermarket. Some of those guys had little weld shops and they'd build something handy for themselves and then make a few extra and market them. Big old McCormick. I was just reading the other night about the history of International and McCormick and Farmall, and how all that came to be, and that's a pretty fascinating topic to read up on. This old Moline is kind of neat. Another McCormick W9. Another one. If a guy like W9s, he could probably take one or two and build one. Two or three and build one. Another one with a loader, and then Moline could have been a runner. I'm not sure. Either that or they towed it here. David Brown era case. 504 turbo. H or an M. How do you tell the difference? Joe, for some reason, wasn't nearly excited about this sale as I was, so he only bought this truck. He ended up splitting it with a guy. That guy just wanted the tire bed, and Joe got the cab and chassis. I just had to have the 76 Nova. A car like this really is probably a once-in-a-lifetime find, and I think I've already got a buyer on the way for it. I did get a hold of the 71 Caprice. These cars are really getting hard to find. They're just drying up. There's always going to be that one bidder that's going to make you overpay. But there's always a standing list of buyers for the parts from these cars, and they seem to bring a premium. You can buy repros for Chevelles, Novas, Monte Carlos, but a Caprice, not so much. I did take a chance on the Blue Blazer as well. These seem to be a popular vehicle, and not around every corner. As these usually seem to go, I get by with a little help from my friends. And for the ones who need it, I'm always ready to lend a hand myself. I bought this 1963 Chevrolet. It had been cut to make a pickup bed trailer way back in the day. Fortunately, they didn't scrap the cabin clip. I'd been looking for something like this for a while because I have a short bed and frame ready to make a package for somebody's next project. I got in touch with the scrap guy and was able to save a few parts off these 1980 through 86 bullnose Fords, including a complete set of body side moldings for the two-tone trucks. My friend Steve Snyder, out in Pueblo, Colorado, had a very good eye, scooped up this Ford school bus, along with a couple 1960s Ford half-ton pickups. He had a really good eye as well to get the 62 Chevy, probably one of my favorite vehicles there that I didn't buy. The 283 V8 turns free, and I'm sure with a little bit of love and coaxing, it'll be prime fodder for a Will It Run.